looking after you.
Hi, I'm Amalia.
And I'm Matthew.
If you live with someone with a mental illness, maybe it's your parent, then you'll probably experience a whole lot of different feelings.
And they can range from good everyday feelings that come from just hanging out to having fun with that person, through to times when you might be feeling worried or confused or even a bit frightened by what's going on.
So it's really important that you make sure you look after yourself. And to get you started on that, here are some tips and some things to think about.
So straight up, here's a quick list of things you should know. This is not your fault, you didn't cause it. And it's not your job to make it better either. You're not alone with this. It's okay to have feelings about what's going on. Try to talk with an adult you trust. Do things you enjoy. Balance helping out your family with other stuff in your life.
So let's check those out in a bit more detail, starting with it's not your fault. If you've heard stuff or believe stuff that might make you think that what's going on with your parent is your fault, then that's not right.
You can't cause someone to have a mental illness. A mental illness affects people in the brain and changes the way they think and feel and behave. Just like the body gets sick, the mind can get sick too, but that doesn't mean that you can catch a mental illness like you can catch a cold. Okay, next on the list is, it's not your job to make it better. It's up to the person with the mental illness to work towards getting better. So you can't make your parent better by doing stuff, or by changing who you are. And that doesn't mean that you don't help out, but we'll talk about that a bit more later.
Next thing to remember, you are not alone. 1 in every 5 Australian kids have a parent with a mental illness of some kind. So there are other kids just like you, maybe even in your class or home group, who have a parent with a mental illness. They might want to keep that private and not talk about it, but there will be others around you.
Next, it's okay to have feelings about what's going on. So you might feel confused, worried, or angry, or sad, or embarrassed.
They're your feelings and you're not being disloyal or selfish by having them. Which leads into the next point. Try to talk with an adult you trust, especially about what's going on for you.
And that could be a parent, a family friend, or a school counsellor, or a teacher.
Don't bottle it up. Find somewhere safe to get it out.
And if you can't think of someone, then Kids Helpline's a good place to start. They have trained people you can talk to about stuff, and it's all private. And it doesn't have to be a crisis to call them. The number's on the screen.
And sometimes it might feel like it's all too much. That's the time when it's important to talk to someone about what's going on for you. You might also be thinking that you want to talk to your parent with the mental illness about what's happening.
You don't have to, of course, but if you did, a good way to start is to find a time when it feels okay to say something like, I've noticed that you seem to be really sad lately and I'm worried. Can we talk about what's going on?
Sad may not be the right word. Choose a word or description that fits. You might say angry, anxious, worried, crying a lot, staying in bed a lot, whatever you notice.
Have time that's just for you, so you can do things that you enjoy. It's important to have fun and not feel guilty about it.
Last point. It's okay to help out around the house. Helping out is what we do in families. But make sure you get to do other important stuff, like schoolwork, seeing friends, hobbies, and having fun. Remember, there are things that your parent can do to get better, so this doesn't have to last forever.
And you might hear other people say stuff about mental illness that's just hurtful or just plain wrong.
Even though a lot of families have someone with a mental illness, it's something that doesn't get talked much about. So some people might not understand what you're going through.
And if you are being teased or bullied because your parent has a mental illness, then talk to a teacher or school counsellor. There's a lot of other information that you might find helpful on the CopMe website at www.copme.net.au/youth. So take care of yourself.